educated. She goes, so informed. She goes, but the Mexican brown bat isn't susceptible to that. And he goes, wow, how do you know that? But the point is, then we walk past that, and a ranger waves the kids over. I'm like, oh, thank God, a nice ranger. He wants to talk to the kids. And he goes, hi, do you know what animal this is? He has a table out. We're trying to go to the elevators. Couldn't get past these people. He wanted his pound of flesh. And so he holds up a white-tailed deer and a puma and shows us a puma skull. And then he goes, one last thing. And he holds up a map of the park underground. And he says, 90% of this is off limits to humans. That's for the animals. Animals need a place too. I'm like, oh God, does it never end, this anti-human brainwashing? 90+% of the planet's totally untouched. The globalists are the ones destroying the environment. They got a fake environmentalism to grab property and control. But I didn't say that. I'm like, thank you, because we need to get through the park and get on the next leg of our investigative journey, as my children are basically apprenticing with me. I'm like, thank you. So then we walk out and go down to the natural entrance, because you can't just take the elevators down if you're lazy. And there's another one comes slinking over, and he says, no gum, no food, no this and that, don't talk. It disturbs the animals and the people. The lecturing continued and continued. I said, thank you. And he was all kind of creeping around, acting weird. And I'm like, God, this is horrible. Now, remember, I've been here at least 4 times before. This hadn't happened. So then we walk down into the cave, and 100 yards in, there's a camera and a sign that says, Cave Watch. If you see anything illegal, call this number. 3030 and had the code. Before those were there if you slipped and fell or needed help or whatever. Now it's tattle on people and cameras everywhere hidden up in cave crevices. And this goes on. And we don't see any of the park rangers till we get down to the bottom, 800 feet down, and they're all there bossing people around and stuff. I talked to some. They were a little bit nice. Then I went and got back on the elevator where they had a little gift shop down at the bottom, went back up to the top. I got back off, saw more park rangers with guns and tasers. My family walked in the bathroom. I turned around, and a guy goes, sir, did you just come in because you need to buy a ticket right now, or this is the last 5 minutes to buy a ticket? But he kind of said it like, and I was like, okay, thank you. No, I've already been down. Thank you. And it's just this oppressive culture of the American people are bad. The American people can't be trusted. Only government is good. They've got new Homeland Security ads in Denver that are airing, and training manuals that Paul Watson wrote about yesterday, where they say even your best friend can't be trusted. They could be a terrorist. Really, what about the government caught shipping drugs into the country? What about the government caught beating people to death? What about the government letting big mega banks rob people and putting their people in as federal regulators? What about all these other companies taking people's bank accounts like MF Global? I mean, what about that? See, this is about us learning to be perps, us learning to be criminals, us learning that we're bad, we have guilt, we're evil. And it just went on and on. There was a bunch of other nanny state stuff. So many I had to write it down. But again, this park, 90% is off limits to you. In the final equation, if they discovered this cave like they did 100 and something years ago, today, they would guaranteed not let it be open to the public. There are already caves they found in the U.S., Canada, France, and other areas that are huge that they just say are off limits, vital biosphere area. It's all about treating us. We have no rights. We're scum. We're trash. We have no value. And the government is there with the big mega banks to basically pick up the garbage and throw it away. That's what's going on. And more, I mean, I've gone to state parks where they're super rude. Aaron Dykes tried to go to a state park, McKinney Ruffs, with his girlfriend a few weeks ago. And he said they interrogated him. Nice, clean-cut guy, nice, clean-cut girlfriend. They interrogated him like he'd done something wrong and said, is anybody else hiding in the car? It's like when you go rent a car, they interrogate you. Where are you going? What are you doing? Oh, really? Who are you visiting? It all goes in a Patriot Act database. And this is all fact. I mean, this is like Stasi East Germany or something. So I wanted to follow this boil down before I also post the videos we shot in there today inside the cave and that cover some of what we just broke down here. But it's just all off the charts. So here's kind of a final boil down before I post all the pieces that were shot live inside the cave. Again, I'm Alex Jones signing off from the Southwest. I'll be reporting throughout the weekend and next week. You'll see our reports posted at prisonplanet.tv and Infowars.com. Thank you for watching.
And there you have it. As Alex pointed out, he has other videos on the Alex Jones channel. He's going to be back live on Monday, but a little tip, keep in mind he loves posting those little videos on the Alex Jones channel throughout the time he's away. So look for those over the weekend. And again, we're going to cover those tonight on the InfoWars Nightly News. And as you heard him point out, it is an Agenda 21 takeover in part, but it's also allowing the various global interests like the United Nations to have these parklands as collateral. And there's a great documentary, the Ken Burns one, on the National Park System. Very beautiful parks, not knocking the park system, but you can see the worship of the robber barons and the particular role they had in developing these parks and ultimately in having a say in who controls them at the end of the day. I've seen, well, we'll get into it on the other side. I'll tell my story of visiting a state park and being interrogated, ask TSA-style questions, and I'll also talk about the larger system. For example, Greece was selling some of its publicly owned islands to billionaires to help pay off the debt. We'll get into that. Infowars.com. Stay tuned. Tonight, the Infowars Nightly News.
Optics Planet, the go-to store for everything tactical, military, survival, and hunting, has redefined member privileges with a new exclusive online store featuring discounts too large to show the public. Optics Planet is proud to present Devore.com. That's DVOR.com. Devore is a members-only store with limited-time deals, not normally found at Optics Planet. We're talking 3 days or less. We're talking exclusive. We're talking up to 90% savings on the gear you want and need. Devore.com. Are you a member yet? The prices on Devore are so low our vendors won't let them be posted publicly, so you have to sign up to see the deals. Now through December 23rd, use the coupon code RADIO to save $10 off your first purchase at Devore.com, or use the coupon code GCN to save 5% off most purchases at OpticsPlanet.com.
There are limitless ways to go into business for yourself, but most involve substantial capital and risk. Our InfoWarsTeam.com operation is different. We promote premium quality health, energy, and skincare products using dynamic, caring personalities and state-of-the-art media technology to spread a powerful message of health, wealth, longevity, and freedom. This low-cost business opportunity is designed for full-time or part-time, so you can work as little or as much as you'd like. It is you that defines the reward level. Whether you are seeking a few $100 extra per month or a 6 or even 7-figure annual income, it's up to you. Want to find out more? Shoot an email with InfoWars Team in the subject line to InfoWars Team Coordinator MZ and tell him a little bit about yourself. That's the initials MZ at InfoWarsTeam.com. That's MZ at InfoWarsTeam.com. I only promote products that I truly believe in, and these are phenomenal. Whatever you do, visit InfoWarsTeam.com.
What looks good under your Christmas tree and tastes even better? Big Berkey water filters. Yes, the gift of clean water. A gift that provides a great foundation for achieving good health in the lives of your loved ones. A Big Berkey water filter gives them protection from bacteria, heavy metals, chlorine, fluoride, pesticides and herbicides, VOCs and more. And best of all, a Big Berkey water filter is a gift that lasts for many years with no additional investment. And that saves time and money in filter replacements that other water filters require and are even powerful enough to purify treated, untreated, or even stagnant pond water. As always, all orders over $50 are shipped free, and GCN listeners get 5% off all ceramic filter systems. Order online at BigBerkeyWaterFilters.com, spelled Big, B-E-R-K-E-Y, waterfilters.com, or call 877-99-BERKEY. That's 877-99-B-E-R-K-E-Y. Gift well this Christmas. Give a Big Berkey water filter.
We are back in the final segment on the Alex Jones Show. I'm Aaron Dykes. Alex has left the building, but he'll be back again live Monday. And just remember to tune in for his live iPhone video reports throughout the weekend as well. Those will also be posted on Infowars.com, as is the Drudge Red Link story. Sprint launches soon to be mandatory emergency alert messages. You heard how the government not only wants to take over radio and TV, but also internet and mobile phone communications. And there's also breaking news about the Supreme Court's plan to block government collection of DNA, at least in one state. We're going to cover that and more tonight on the InfoWars Nightly News, but also the story of the general takeover of parks and wildlife across the country. And again, I visited a state park in Texas that was McKinney Falls State Park, and they immediately demanded my zip code, started asking questions. Me and my girlfriend asked if we're hiding anyone else in the car and if we were trying to duck out of extra payments and stuff. We didn't do anything but try to come see the park, and that's just the kind of treatment, TSA-style treatment, you can now expect when you come to these places. At the same time, I've been very interested in Alex's documentary, America Destroyed by Design. That was the first one he did about the United Nations takeover of national parks. And I had a suspicion that there were many state parks that also fell under that jurisdiction. It's true. I found the list. I know people like Monteith have covered it before. And I looked, and many of the state parks I'm familiar with and love happen to be United Nations held and operated, as are a large portion of the wildlife refuges and other things in Texas. I checked Texas. There's listings for the whole country. I'm going to try to get a hold of that list, and we'll cover some of that also on the InfoWars Nightly News tonight. Special reports all week long there as Alex continues to bring you live coverage from the road throughout the week. InfoWars is doing so much. Now, just remember, Greece started putting up island land for sale to private rich individuals to help save the economy, including many of the most well-known tourist areas and other government-held islands. This was reported in the London Guardian and other papers back in June of 2010, but there's a parallel there with the United Nations takeover of U.S. parks and wildlife, as there is here with islands that are very important to Greece, its whole history, and its tourism economy now being really just doled out to private billionaires and others who can own the island, use it for profit, or keep it for themselves, keeping people away. There is that rewilding plan going on. Just some of the stuff we're going to cover, but tune in for the rebroadcast. Alex Jones talked to Gerald Celente, the latest on the MF Global swindle scandal. What will happen to people like John Corzine? Will they target him for any potential improprieties? More coverage of the naked puppet president and other naked emperors across the world. And, of course, the technocratic takeover of Europe between the new monetary vehicle they plan to put above all European sovereignty, as well as the open introduction of people like Super Mario Monti and other Bilderberg technocrats openly imposing austerity on Europe. Obviously, this will also have consequences for the rest of the world. So we're going to continue to cover that stuff as it breaks, and tune in to this rebroadcast. Share it with your friends and family. And Alex talked about the incredible DVD and PrisonPlanet.tv specials we have going on now through the holidays. And if you're ever going to buy the physical DVDs, I think that's the best time. There's nothing like getting a nicely packaged, good-looking product for people who are your friends and family to say, what is this? What is this documentary? That's how you get them to check it out. Also, the UN and Bill Gates pushing HPV